Community board members, we don't need a mic. We don't need a mic. I'm not putting the show on. I'm here, I'm the civic leader, Westchester Square Civic. I've been here for 6 years, trying to make improvements on my community. Right now we have, coming up the community board, is 53 Westchester Square, which was Plush 101. It's a new bar name. It's coming up for a license. I've interviewed, I don't know if we have some people that live upstairs in the building. Above is the residence. Now this bar had transitioned from an old, or let me say senior bar, quiet, people never knew it existed. Then it went to the second stage. Now it goes to a stage where I speak to the residents even far away, and then said that there's violence, there's problems. They walk to this bar at 4 a.m. to go use the cab company that's there. They're in fear. It's unlit. A lot of these things, I don't like that's going on. Our community board had a hearing or a meeting, and they're going to present it to the board today. Excuse me. I object to the license on this thing based on, I didn't have in front of me the information, the signatures. I was denied them. I was denied a lot of stuff. When it comes to our community, and we have these bars, because of not relating it to Tremont and everything, the violence in these bars are not being controlled right. I don't want to see stabbings. I don't want to see any of that stuff. Westchester Square is a new type of place where businesses, residents trying to change. If we become a dump and let these bars start taking over these businesses that are not good for the community. I reached out to the Muslim community. I reached out to all of them. A bar is not a good thing. A bar has to be really scrutinized and looked at. A bar has to fit the area. There was also, I'm going to get contradicted. They said there was no police reports. We looked up, there was like 17, 18. There was a police report. There was a woman on the first floor. One was Anna. I interviewed a few of them, and they did call the police. There were a lot of problems here. I know they're going into a new bar license. I objected totally till there's some kind of change made. We don't want to accept what Tremont is going through, stabbings and all this stuff. We don't need to. The Westchester Square has enough violence. It's not being addressed. The stores are not doing that great. I'm going to speak a lot of negativity. They're not doing that great. We have a lot of stores that are closed. We have issues that are happening. Now, to start with the bars and all this stuff, my second thing is on the response from our 45th precinct. I've been working on trying to, when this community board addresses a problem, they say there's no parking. Yeah, that's fine, but you got to do something about no parking. No parking is, the merchants, they want parking. The residents want parking. Everybody wants parking. But you can't just say we want parking. Using the community board and our boss there, we worked as a group, and we freed up over 25 parking spaces. Not attacking hospitals, not attacking people. There is a way to make parking. And the way to make this parking is you got to work on it. We found out that, and we also need help from a 45th precinct that is useless. Useless. We reached out to them, even our community board reached out to them. They don't want to respond. They have the responsibility of giving summonses out to cars that are parked. I've been calling that precinct, they don't come out. We have vehicles that should be towed away, they don't tow. We have to beg them. We don't want a precinct where we have to beg. Our community has become clean and safe. Thanks to our sanitation, thanks to the community board leader, thanks to my civic association, thanks to the neighbors. Our neighbors said, something has changed in this community. You know what I said? It's a joint venture to change the community, to be getting involved, to working on it, not just saying we have a problem. We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of problems. But you need to work as a group, not working, I want to do this and I'm going to push stuff through. You need to work as a group. We tend to live here. We want a safe community. And I just want to thank all the people, especially the secretaries in the community board, who they work hard. They work hard. I didn't realize the work they get through, and it's thankless work that they do. All right, and I'm going to rank it up, and I just want you, when you vote, consider what you're doing when you change things in the community. Either we go together or you hurt the community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lou. We have Victor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Victor DePiero. Many of you may know me as the detective at Community Affairs in the 4-9 precinct. I had a laugh when that gentleman was saying that the 4-5, they get no response from them. Well, it's frustrating because I used to get those complaints to 4-9 all the time, but hopefully they'll listen one day and come out for you. I'm here tonight to propose a street renaming for a dear friend of mine who was tragically killed in a car accident. You may have read about it on St. Patrick's Day evening on 95 coming from Baychester Avenue. She was tragically cut off, causing her car to flip, and she was killed instantly with her daughter sitting in the passenger seat. And her name was Michelle Muccio. And I'd like to introduce her husband, Chris Muccio, her daughter, Nikki, and her father, Joe, who are here tonight in support of what we're trying to do. You know, Michelle was a kind of person, if you didn't know her and you met her once, she brightened up the room and everybody's lives that she was associated with. She was an incredible mother, daughter, friend to so many people. Her wake was something I've never seen. I was in the funeral business for many years. There was a line that lasted for 3 hours at Giordano's funeral home. There were over 1,000 people that came to the church. They had to close down streets and blocks, 2-3 blocks at a time, because so many people from the St. Teresa community, Pelham Bay community, and all around the Bronx attended. Michelle grew up in Pelham Bay. She came from Edison Avenue in St. Teresa. She was a staple in the St. Teresa community, in the volunteer end of it, in the cheerleading part of it, the church, day in and day out. I mean, Chris always said my wife only came home to sleep, but she was always at school or at church doing stuff, for others all the time. It was always for others, for children, for the cheerleaders. And she did it for years and years and years at St. Teresa, and then she kind of did it both at Spelman too and St. Teresa as well. She gave so much of her time and her life to the community and always was there to help other people all the time when needed. And, I thought when she was tragically killed, I said, what can I do, for the family that would be an everlasting memorial to Michelle. And I had a lot of interactions with Councilman Jonai and Matt, District Manager Cruz, regarding this issue. And they said, yeah, this is what you need to do. Get some signatures. We'll get things, moving. So that brings me here this evening. I'm sorry I missed. There was a committee meeting a couple weeks ago. I was unable to attend. I apologize, and that's why I'm here tonight before you. And hopefully that you guys will vote in favor of the street renaming. It'll be, like I said, an everlasting tribute to a beautiful individual that touched so many people, and it's something her family would truly be proud of, seeing her, name in an area that she gave so much to and came from. So that's about it, folks. It's I appreciate your time and consideration. Thank you.
All right, before we move on to the next, since it is her 2-month anniversary, can we all rise for a moment of silence for Michelle? Thank you. We have Mike Shear.
Hey everybody, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. So I am Mike Schur. I work for New York Roadrunners. Do people know New York Roadrunners? Yeah. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Great start. Who? Why do you know them?
I chair the Youth and Education Committee. I'm familiar with some of the programs they've run throughout.
Great. So you know more than a lot of people. A lot of people know us for the marathon, of course. There we go. Who wouldn't know us for that? But we're actually a very, like he said, a large nonprofit, and we have many kids participating across programs across the country, over 250,000, there's numbers. But the program I'm here to talk about today is called Open Run, and we started it in 2015 in St. Mary's Park in the Bronx. It has expanded to now 15 parks throughout the city since we started. And what it is it's a free run walk that's community-based and volunteer-led. So let me start about this. So before I get into that, the idea is to bring the 16th to Pelham Bay Park in the middle of June. We definitely want to do this, it's going to happen, but we need your support. So free, right, run walk, and what we mean by run walk is we do 3 loops of a loop in the park. So you can do either 1, 2, or 3 of them, that's fine, you get credit for that. You can run or walk, it's open to all levels, strollers, dogs are also welcome. It's open to families. It's a serious family event. It is community-based, so we rely on you guys to help come out and support us. And what we mean by that is get volunteers out there and get runners and participants and walkers out there to come with us. The program also has an incentive structure to get people out. So if you come 10 times, you get a shirt. If you come 25 times, you also get a long sleeve tech shirt. There's also incentives for volunteering, right? So what I'm here today to do is come tell you about it, and what I need is your help to get people to come out. So we are going to have a community meeting on the 7th in June. If you want to talk to me after this, get my card and I can email you all the information. It's going to be at the International Caterers of Distinction by the Knights of Columbus by the park, by the track. Yep, exactly, thank you. So that'll be on the 7th. Again, get my card and I'll give you more information. 7 o'clock. The program is going to be on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. The program is weekly. The idea is to preach consistency, get people out and hold themselves accountable for staying active once a week. And it lasts forever. It's pretty cool, right? So I'll be here for a little bit longer until the end. And so if you want to come talk to me about it, we'd love to get your information and kind of we really want civic associations, we want police precincts, we want everybody to come out. We want to make this a community event and create a platform for you to use and utilize and use for work.
Can we have one of your cards, please?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So, we just got a little sidetrack here. We got Councilman Cabrera.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair, Executive Board, and the board. Good evening, everyone, and our constituents. Seen some familiar faces. Perhaps you don't have not seen me here, and that's because I don't represent this area. I'm in the west side of the Bronx, so I guess you're wondering why you're on the other side of the Bronx. The reason why is because I'm trying to get the board more funding for your budget, and I'm sure you can use more money. So you say, well, where do you fit in that picture? Where this January I became not only the majority whip leader, but also the chairman of the Government Operations Committee. And I oversee 12 agencies, and one of the oversights that I have is community boards. And I noticed since 2012, let me just give you some quick numbers. I won't be long because blessed are those who give short speeches, especially politicians. They shall be invited back. So from 2012 to 2015, there was absolutely no increase to the base budget of community boards. It was not into 2016 where you had 23,000, that was pretty decent. And then the year after, just $4,000. Last year, fiscal year 2018, there was no increase. But if you put it all together from 2012 to now, we're talking about $27,000. That's just not enough for all the hard work that you do. And I know because I was a former community board member and community board number 7. I like community boards so much that I hire the chairman to be my chief of staff. But I know the hard work that you do. When you have rezonings to do, when you have all the constituents that come to your office and all the other work that you have to do, you need the funding. So I've been speaking to the Speaker of the Council, Corey Johnson, I presented the idea to him, and he related to me that he was very interested in making this happen. I spoke to him as early as today. It's looking very good, but I need your help. I cannot do this by myself. He asked me to get letters of support, and also we're doing a survey. Lucia Brasha from my office brought some surveys that I see everybody have. It'll literally, with the permission of the chairman, take 30 seconds to fill out. We're going to take it in. We already sent what we already have. I'm going to go to another community board. I think I have one more. Will be done for the Bronx. We also getting letters of support throughout the city, so we can have all 59 creating one chorus stating that we matter. We're doing a great job in our community, but we need the reinforcement through funding. Thank you so much. Any questions? If not, yes.
You know, the community board is advisory, and one of the things I read in the city charter is that any major land use project has to come before a community board. There are so many as-of-right projects that go past us. But, I mean, some of these major malls and things that are actually major land projects, shouldn't they be coming before us as well?
Well, two things. Number one, the ones that come before you and myself, those are the ones that are city-owned properties. And so you have to go through the whole Euler process. Right. The second thing that I will share is that next year, the council, ironically through my committee, we are looking to do a charter revision, a major one. We have not had one in 2 decades.
That's why I was looking at the charter.
And so I'm glad that you are. We're going to have hearings in each of the boroughs. We're spending about $3 million to get this done. But we need some changes because community boards need to be empowered. They need to have more power. They need to have a greater say-so. And that's going to be our opportunity to do so. Thank you.
Mr. Cabrera, Councilman.
Yes.
Thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
In fact, I testified at the city's charter revision recently. And as I stated there, I'm going to state to you, I hope we don't use the charter revision to circumvent the voters with a third term. Apparently, the mayor doesn't want a third term. The city council wants it, and this is the venue. I hope your venue or charter revision committee is not going to be used to take the people's will. They voted for 2 terms, 8 years, not 3 terms. Bloomberg got away with it. We don't expect the city council to do it, but we're going to fight for it.
Thank you, Eugenio. Thank you so much for that. The fact is that in talking to my colleagues, there's really, most of them, they don't have an appetite to do a 3rd term. Because of the nature of the work that we do. I would say this in a side note that do consider that, you have many people who leave their careers, whether it's a lawyer, like example, I have my doctorate in counseling, I was a college professor, licensed mental health counselor. You leave all of that, you do 8 years and you're still not vested. And so something needs to happen that we could attract the brightest of minds, the people who have the greatest capacity and competency, but to appease and to set your arrest, I don't foresee that we're going to be trying to extend the terms. I don't see the appetite there for it. Most of us don't want that. We're ready to move on to the next step in our lives.
We're going to hold you to it.
Thank you, Gina. You're the man. Yes.
Are we going to get raises now?
Racist. It's funny you say that. I would like to. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to. Hello, Pastor. How are you? I'm going to try to see if we can do some things. For example, for the chairman, for all the chairs, to have parking permits. They go and visit many places, and they're volunteering. And I'd like to see parking permits. And maybe one of these days we could have something related to what you're talking about. But don't hold your breath this time around. All right, thank you so much. I got to go to another board. Is that a question? Am I allowed to take questions?
Go ahead, take one more from Lou Rocco.
My name is Lou Rocco, and I also testified at the hearings.
Thank you.
And what I wanted was term limits on the community boards, and I wanted a fairer system where the community board members have to go out in the community and get signatures to be put on a community board. They have to get a flavor of the people. The same way we go out and get signatures, they should go out and get signatures from the community that they entrust their will and everything in these boards. Term limits is the main thing. We have some members who are on 40 years. Give us a break. Our communities have changed. It's the same dialogue, 40 years. People have died, moved out, politicians left, but our community board members stay with the same old way. We need change. We need young blood. We need different ideas, not the same people stuck for 40 years. I know it's a good idea to have someone on a community board 40 years, but it's a bad idea also.
Okay, so I would say that, just want to give a point of clarification. This year's charter revision that the mayor is proposing, I'm going to be honest with you, is dealing with campaign finance reform. There are things, to be honest with you, we could have just passed into law, and it's not going to be dealing with structural systems within, such as the suggestions that you are making, the same thing Eugenia had mentioned. That will be dealt with next year. The mayor is not, I don't see that happening for this November election. And to be honest with you, they didn't have even enough time to have this level of discussion. It was kind of a rushed kind of situation for where I'm sitting. And so next year will be when that level of discussion will be very deep, and let the voice of the Bronx be heard. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. It's a pleasure. Boy, it's a lot of fun to do this for. I love it.
Lou, you're down to 1 minute from now on. I'm just joking you. I'm joking you. Joanne Summers, you're up.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Joanne Somers. I'm from the Ferry Point Civic Association. I'm here to request that the no standing signs that are placed on Brush Avenue from Weiner Place to Schley Avenue be removed from the area to allow multifamilies to have parking. We have an abundance of multifamily homes. Most of them are on Brush Avenue. A few are on Broad Place, within a few feet of Rush Avenue, and the people in the community have asked me to see if we could get more parking for them. As it is now, we have no additional parking. Any questions? I don't know if they're familiar with Rush Avenue. Yeah. You are? Okay. So as it is, we have the traffic conditions. They're terrible. But these people are parking 2-3 blocks away to get to their homes. So I'm only here requesting that for them. Okay, thank you.
So we got a couple more businesses within there, especially with that mall. There's more employees. There's a lot of employees with the businesses over there. And if they can't park on Brush, they go and park in front of residential houses on all the side streets. So that's why they're asking for this to be removed. But we'll get to that later, okay? Thank you. Leslie Brown?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Leslie Brown. I'm the branch manager at the Baychester Library in Co-op City. So I have just 3 things to talk about quickly. First, I want to talk about advocacy. Our letter writing campaign has begun. And of course, we had rallies down at City Hall. So what we're doing is we're just asking the mayor to continue the funding. He has given us last fiscal year, but we want to make sure that he continues to keep us in mind for the summer, for actually throughout the year. Also, our summer reading kickoff is June 7th, so look for more details with that. We're encouraging our kids, and our theme is more people reading more, but our summer actually reading theme is turn it up. So what we want to do, we want to turn it up. We want to make sure that the kids are reading this summer. We want to turn that up, making sure they continue to read. And the last thing we have is, and I mentioned this before, but I want to continue to mention it, ABC Mouse. We do have that in the libraries, and it is free. It's not free on the website, but it is free. But the only thing is you just have to be on the library premises to get it. But it is a free service, so I encourage all of you to, tell your friends and family that ABC Mouse is for free. I do have, well, actually I gave some to the kids right there. Some of the branches may still have some of these packets left. So if you have a branch that's closest to you, these are some of the packets that they have that you can get for free. And it's just a start kit. So thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me if I don't pronounce the name the right way. Narika Reed? Did I get that right?
Vidrika.
No.
Can everyone hear me? Because I just, no? Use my mic? Okay. So hi everyone, I'm Vidrika and I work for a company called Bronx Independent Living Services. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. And I'm here today to spread awareness about one of our programs, specifically the one I do outreach for, which is New York Connect. Have you guys ever heard of New York Connect? Yes. Okay, great. Well, so like I said, recently it's expanded as of last September to include individuals with disabilities, because originally it was a program specifically for seniors. So I'm here to spread awareness about that. So what we do at New York Connect is kind of like a hotline, kind of like a 311. So when you give us a call at our 1844 number, which is on all these brochures, you'll get access to our benefit counselors, and they do benefit assessments for consumers with disabilities of all ages, with any income level, without regard to any kind of immigration status or anything like that. They do benefits checkups, and they help them apply to services such as housing, Medicaid, transportation, home care, SSI, just a range of services we help consumers apply, because a lot of the times, like, people with disabilities, they get kind of like lost when it comes to the social service system, so we're there to kind of like help them navigate that. And so that's why I'm here. We have offices in all five of the boroughs. Specifically, ours is in the Bronx on 3rd Avenue. And so I just wanted to come today and spread the word about us, drop off some brochures. And if ever you guys are doing any events, I'm the outreach worker, so I'm happy to attend. Yes.
I think you have a question there.
I just need a brochure.
Oh, brochure,
Yes,
okay.
thank you. I just will drop off all of them. Where can I put them?
Thank you.
Yeah, well, give us some and we'll pass them around the table. We'll pass them around the room.
Gilio, you ready?
Why does everybody get their last name pronounced? It's my first name. You know, it's Egidio Cementelli. Thank you.
You always repeat it for everybody.
You always share.
I don't want to ruin it.
Egidio Cementelli, good evening to all board members. Good evening. I'm here again. It's like deja vu. 2014, I'm going to bring you back, 2014. I was in front of you talking about a bar lounge issue. Today I'm here again talking about a bar lounge issue. Except I'm a little older. Some of you are also a little older. And God bless you all. Thank God we're all here. I'm talking about Vapor Lounge. At the last meeting, I believe Senator Klein, or his rep said Senator Klein, and Assemblyman Benedetto said they were going to write a letter against the renewal. I would like to encourage every board member here to deny this application. I was at the committee meeting with Mr. Accomando. There were other issues, although I want to thank Mr. Accomando for having discussions with me about it. But there were issues that were not raised. There were noise complaints that were not raised at the committee level. This is a troubled location. And it's not like we have everything on Tremont Avenue is a troubled location. We have a few select bars and lounges that take advantage of this community, that operate purposely for this type of environment. The same establishment has 2 other locations on Tremont, and they run it like a family-operated restaurant. But one location, they want to run as an basically after-hour club, bringing trouble, problems, incidents, which reflect on all the good. The bad apples, we have a few bad apples that pollute and make the whole barrel rotten. And I urge you, board members, representatives of our community, to say, enough is enough. We need to take a position, and this is the perfect example. We're not targeting them or a specific location. They've done it to themselves. They've done it to themselves because of the lack of management, the lack of infrastructure. 2016, they paid what, $5,000 or $10,000 fine. Why? No licensed security guard. So they don't want to pay a licensed security guard, but they want to charge $14 a drink and create problems. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I just want to let you, 2014 they said this had racial overtones. Well, 2018. And we have bars and restaurants that are on Tremont Avenue that basically that cater to 90% Latino and African Americans, and no problems. No problems. But this location is a problem. So please, vote against this. Don't let them have their license. They don't deserve it. It's a privilege to have a license, not a right. Thank you.
Assemblyman Benedetto's office, Leon Tolton. Let's say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Leon Tolton. I'm from Assembly Member Benedetto's office. We don't have any news to report, so with that, I'll just say happy belated Mother's Day and a happy pre-Father's Day for next month, since that's going to come before the next general meeting. But just to let you know, we have 2 offices, one over at Co-op City where I'm based at, and another one that's at East Tremont. So if you need us, just feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Benedetto, when we asked him for something, he says that Pearly Gates Park is his park. I've been monitoring this park, and the park department has denied it. We have heroin being shooten up in the female's bathroom. Been monitoring every night. I requested that this park be closed earlier. They do not do it. They said they got 100 parks, and this is the last one. I've requested, which the community board helped us out because we couldn't get monies to put lighting in there, and supposedly we're getting lighting. Our detectives asked us for some cameras. We had someone shot in the head. To improve our community, take some pride in our park that he keeps saying it's his park. I go there at night, and I can attest by it by other people. Because people release dogs to run where the children play. Our park on the outside became a dog run. It's overrun with feces. I speak to the park employee who takes care of it. The heating system runs, but it doesn't put out heat. Energy wasting. Now, who's looking into this? Is the public and the community have to oversee other people's jobs? And he continues to say, it's his park, stay out of it, takes his photo op. I'm tired of it. You get paid as a representative, and you got gotta take pride in the same one we take pride. This park has been renovated, and we want to maintain it in a good fashion and take pride. We don't want someone to come for political click outside and leave and say, it's my park. It's your park, get involved. Let me see you, Leon. We're gonna have cleanups, and we're gonna clean up the mess and maintain this park
Thank you,
for the
Lou.
city, save some money. Get involved.
Thanks,
Let's-
Lou.
Let's see our assemblyman.
Thank you, Lou.
Let him come.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, Lou.
Lou, that counts for next meeting too. You snuck that one in on me.
Councilmember Jonai's office, Darden. There he is.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Dardan. You can call me Darty. I'm from Councilman Jonai's office. So just a few quick points in case you guys didn't know. The office is located 1478 Williamsbridge Road. Any constituent issues, any cases, problems, community issues that you guys may have, our doors are always open. The phone number is 718-931-1721. So beyond that, just a few announcements. As of right now, we're still doing our rain barrel giveaway, along with Assemblyman Benedetta's office, Senator Klein's office, and newly elected Assemblywoman Natalia Fernandez's office. If you're interested in one of those, you could reach out to any of our offices. Of course, ours will help you with that. Excuse me. Our district office does free immigration services. So if you guys have or you know anybody in need of free immigration help, we have a lawyer there, I believe, once every week or once every other week. So with any immigration help, feel free to call the district office and they can help you out there. So on our legislative front, the councilman just introduced a bill. We're calling it the NYC Protect NYC Jobs and Businesses Act. Essentially what that does is it will require the DOT to notify community boards as well as relevant stakeholders such as BIDs anytime they want to change street usage or parking rules. So I'm sure you guys probably are familiar with this. The DOT has infamously just kind of changed parking rules overnight. It's a problem for businesses that they have to change their delivery schedules. So now with our new rule, it will require them to notify BIDs and the community board, so you guys can tell all your members, can tell the community before it happens. It's currently in committee, so it hasn't passed yet. But together with Majority Leader Cumbo and Councilman Moya, Francisco Moya, we're looking to push that ahead. And also right now, as I'm sure Councilman Cabrera was talking about before I came in, we are in the middle of our budget season. So just wanted to let you know that Councilman Jonai is fighting for the interests of the community. And this last budget from the mayor's, $90 billion was proposed in his executive budget. We're looking to get rid of some of that waste and bring some dollars to District 13. Hopefully fighting to get ferry expansion to Throgs Neck. And we're looking to just get rid of a lot of that waste. It's $90 billion, but fair fares isn't included. A lot of the council initiatives are included. A lot of what our constituents want, what the Bronx needs, is not in there. So Councilman Jonai, along with his council colleagues, are fighting to change that. I guess that's all for me.
Thank you.
From Senator Klein's office, Jose Rodriguez.
Good evening, everyone. Jose Rodriguez, nothing to report other than want to echo what Leon stated. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers and Father's Day for those fathers who are here for next month. Again, just greetings on behalf of Senator Klein. My name is Jose Rodriguez.
Just 1 second. We have the explorers here. Are they here to speak by any chance?
Yeah.
Yeah. You here to speak?
Sure, why not?
Come on up. We're waiting for you before we close out the public speaking portion.
I hate being put on the spot.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Sergeant Gdansky from the NYPD Explorers from the 45th Precinct. With the Explorers, excuse my voice, I'm sick, so bear with me. The Explorers goes from age 14 to 20. If you're looking for a career in law enforcement, if you need community service hours for your school, this is also good for that. Our main focus is discipline, drill teams, and especially if you want to pursue a career in law enforcement, this is exactly what you should be doing. We do community services every month. I don't even know how many we do. Especially in the summertime, it's more frequent as opposed to school time, where we give the kids a chance, you know, to balance out schoolwork and also get some community service done, not only for themselves, but like I said, for the community. I don't know what else I'm missing. Drills is a big thing. Like I said, it instills discipline. Meetings go from every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Sometimes once or twice a week. Well, it's definitely once a week, I'm sorry, twice a week. I don't think I'm missing anything else. And in the scenarios, we teach kids how to act both as from a police perspective and as a perpetrator's perspective. So what they should prepare for, especially when it comes to a police officer's role. So how they enter a room, how they deal with certain situations, if it gets physical, how to deal with that. We take them out on field trips, as you would say. So we have a police simulator exercise coming up where we teach the kids that we give them a gun, not a real gun, so don't be worried about that, don't get alarmed. And it's a simulated gun. It weighs exactly like a Glock 19, looks exactly like a Glock 19, and it responds exactly like a Glock 19. And what it is, it's a screen, just like virtual reality, and they project a scenario on the smart board, on the screen, whatever you want to call it, and then based upon what's happening, you choose whether to lower your weapon, fire your weapon, or resort to something else. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, meetings every Wednesday from 6 to 8. This is your local precinct. The 4-5 is, you are in the confines of the 4-5 precinct. So if you have any kids from the ages of 14 to 20, or the Junior Explorers, which is ages 10 to 13, please stop by, pick up an application, fill it out. It's very simple. And then you can get started right away. Thank you.
Thank you. One second. You got a question?
A couple of questions. Would you happen to have any brochures or maybe visit the Boys and Girls Club, schools? How do you promote this?
Promotion, we have advertisements, flyers that we hand out when we go to specific events. But we actually just ran out. I thought I had some in the car, but we just ran out. We're going to go print up some more. You can always stop by at the precinct.
What about a website?
The website, nypdexplorers.org, I believe.
Or you can go to nyexploring.org also.
NY what?
nyexploring.org.
Explorer.
Thank you.
Anything else?
27 safety. We moved it to 27.
27. Oh, Pizza with the Cop. Sorry, my voice is shot. Pizza with the Cop, if you want to go meet your local police officers, fellow police officers, that's going to be held on June 28th.
27.
June 27th, I'm sorry. I don't know, what time?
6 to 8:30.
6 to 8:30. And then June 28th is when the Explorers will be back out. There's the Orchard Beach fireworks show taking place. What time does it start?
Alright, June 28th, Orchard Beach fireworks. It starts around like 5 o'clock, and you see it out there doing honor guard. This was color guard on the flags.
Pretty much it. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more speaker before we close out the public speaking portion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Brothers and sisters, friends and neighbors, I'm Dr. Alvin Ponder, appointed board member from Co-op City. I rise to make a statement of apology in public that I had previously made in private. There has been times when I have stood before you to ask for certain moral judgments. Certainly I will not have that moral authority if I don't conduct myself in a manner. Giulio Cimentelli, for instance, came to me just a minute ago after his presentation because I had spoke to him regarding showing sensitivity to our communities. And he wanted to let me know that he delivered. The apology that I wish to give is to the big Irishman here. Let me preface it by saying on May 9th, my mind was occupied because my dad had died, and I missed this luncheon, thank you. I missed this luncheon that I paid for, and I had to work on this letter, and I won't take long, and I had to deliver it to the chairman who lived right around the corner. And so I said, oh, well, since I'm right around the corner, let me come on by to the community board. And lo and behold, there was a Health and Human Services meeting, which I'm a member of. I thought I was going to the Municipal Services meeting where I would campaign for election next month. And I mentioned that to tell you this. When I said it to my fellow members, they didn't ridicule me. They corrected me. I just looked them in the eye. And it's because we're family. But last month, after the chair had made a mistake and kidded his own self, he made a mistake on pronouncing a word on the resolution, and I brought it up in a rude manner. A man who has been a friend to me, who has been available anytime I wanted to call or speak to. I could have spoken to John Morano and said, give me a diplomatic way to make this correction. But I didn't. I was in fight mode because I knew there were some governing documents that I had to fight, but there was no call for me to act like an asshole. And I apologize. Now, thank you. Thank you. That's a point apology. Now, when I told him in private, he wanted to try to squeeze some more apologies for the rest of the meeting.
I told you there's no need to do it. Don't stress.
And thank you very much for your time.
Now I gave Alvin 2 minutes, I gotta give Tommy 2 minutes. I don't know what's going on here.
Only gonna take a minute. This is,
You don't have to apologize.
this is for the explorers. I know they mentioned that if you're gonna go into a field of law enforcement, but you necessarily don't have to do that. It's a good program, even if you just want to learn about the police department, in case you're curious about going into that field. It's like the Boy Scouts. You learn discipline, you learn morals, good training. My son did it. He was explorers. He went on to auxiliary. Now he works for the 4-6. So it just worked out for him. But he always wanted to be an officer. But this is a good program, even if you just want to have your kids learn about the way the police officers work, how they institute their stuff. They take them on simulations like you explained, but you necessarily don't have to go into law enforcement. It's just a good program all in all. I just want to mention that.
Thank you. With that, do I have a motion to close the meeting?
Motion to close.
Tony?
Public participation.
Sorry. Dang it. Sorry. Public participation, sorry.
Motion.
Slip.
Second.
We got Tony and we got you, right? Okay. What?
I just looked over these papers and mentioned Ferry Point Park, that there's coyotes in there. I was never notified of these coyotes. But people in my community are unaware of this.
Okay. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. I can assure you.
There's coyotes in?
Yeah, I thought I heard something in my yard the other night that sounded similar.
Okay. Okay. So we had a motion, it was seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, number 3. Resolution to amend tonight's agenda. Resolved at the recommendation of Chairperson of the Community Board number 10 to amend the agenda to allow 2 resolutions from Planning and Budget Committee meetings on May 15th to be forwarded to the full board. This is just to add those 2 things onto the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept.
Second? All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, next, do we accept the minutes from the April meeting? Is there any changes? Any changes? We have a motion to accept from Tony. Do I have a second? I have a second from Bob. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Now we have the Borough President's report. Barati?
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
She's hiding on us.
Greetings to everyone. Do you still need the mic?
No.
I just want to say to the board members and staffers, thank you so much for coming out to the Borough President's Community Appreciation Evening. We had about 200 people there from all 12 community boards, and that was the Borough President's way of saying thank you for what you do throughout the year. We can't say thank you enough. Like any good family, there are times that you do fight, then you mend things, you make things happen. That's what makes community work. To the staffers, we want to say thank you. To the volunteers, you're the eyes and ears of the community. You're the ones that are walking around making sure that things are in place. If they're not, there's conversation. You serve as an advisory board to make things happen with your community and your community members. And a big thank you to all of the members that come out to each one of these meetings. We do have on the 31st at 7 p.m. at the Bronx County Courthouse is Ramadan. Iftar dinner, breaking the fast together, so you're all invited to that. Bronx Week is in full swing. The parade is happening this Sunday on Mashalou Parkway. So if you're marching, if you're part of it, if your school group is taking part, please make sure you're there, rain or shine. I'm going to be there, so come say hi. But if you have any questions, our office is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. We not only have constituent services department, we have a senior services department. A lot of people don't know, we get calls from other offices where they send individuals over. If you ever need any help, please ask. If I can't help you, we'll direct you to someone who can. And again, our office is open 9 to 5. If you have any questions, please ask. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So right before we go into the district manager's report, we have a lot on the agenda tonight. We got a lot of resolutions. So let's respect the part about being recognized by the chairperson. Let's go back and forth with conversations. We got to get through all this. Last month we didn't get through it. We lost quorum. So if we could all just work together and respect the parliamentary thing, and we'll get through this pretty quick. All right, right now we're going to go to our district manager's report.
Thank you. Good evening, board members and members of the public. This will be quick, as I did not get a chance to work on my DM report, but there are some things I want to publicize for the good of the community. There's a Shred Fest event taking place in Co-op City. That's on Sunday, May 20th. That's Co-op City Boulevard and Rombouts Avenue. Again, that's May 20th from 10 to 4 p.m. At Co-op City Boulevard and Rombouts Avenue. That's behind the Municipal Credit Union building. That's again on Sunday, May 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There is a home energy assistance program for air conditioners. Low-income seniors, low-income families would qualify for a free air conditioner from New York State. Please let me know if you have someone in mind. The board office is always open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and I can help them fill out the application to get them their free air conditioner. And for the board members, the month of June will be a busy month for us. We have about 3 or 4 public hearing items to discuss. A zoning text amendment from City Planning that we'll discuss next Thursday at the Co-op City Ad Hoc and Land Use Committee, Housing and Zoning Committee meeting in May 24th. Which room is that?
31.
Room 31 in Bartow? On about 2049 Bartow Avenue.
Parking in the mall upstairs.
Parking in the mall upstairs. Thank you, Bishop Rosario. So those are matters that we should obviously pay attention to, that are going to take priority. And I ask that we attend each and every public hearing we schedule so we can get those matters off into the Borough President's office where they go subsequently. Okay? Thank you. Oh, yes, and some good news, lighthearted news. Christine Lozado, who's a member of our staff, did have the baby. Hey! It was a big baby, right? 8 pounds?
8 pounds, 14 out, 8, 14.
8 pounds, excuse me, 8 pounds.
Big
It's a boy, Isaiah. We wish him the best. He should be around next week to say hello, so I'll let him know. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's me.
We should also be having a public hearing in Co-op City for the animal shelter.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna try and do our best to combine the public hearings that we have coming up. We have another one coming up that was recommended by Municipal Service for the area in Westchester Square, that little down area on Westchester and East Tremont. So that'll also be put into a public hearing portion. But we'll do our best to combine everything so that we're not bringing out, the board too many times in June. And probably we'll end up having a public hearing sometime in the summer, so get ready for that, because liquor licenses and, something else always pops up. But as far as my report, I had no meeting. So we're gonna go right into the main man, Julian.
Oh,
I'm coming right over for you.
Oh, gee, I came in just in time. Huh?
Yeah, plenty of time.
Thank you all. The Planning and Budget Committee met on May 15th and reviewed the budget that was given to us. And if you look at your minutes, I'd like to round out the minutes with some personal observations. There's been a constant groundswell of why are we including staff salaries in our report? Well, for 2 reasons. Number one, we need to know the staff salaries in order to come up with a budget. That's one. And for the second reason, it's a matter of public record. All staff salaries that are made for city workers or city employees are a matter of public record. All of you can get any public salary by pulling it off online. So we include it so that there's no question about what the story is and how the budget is arrived at. The rest of the money is what we call OTPS money. Then there was a question of whether or not the private sector does that. So I did some further research, and I've got a whole bunch of what we call stock reports, and I got one from Consolidated Edison, and they also report staff salaries, believe it or not. And the staff salary, anybody'd like to take, for Con Ed, anybody like to take it? Well, my committee knows we reviewed it. Anybody out there want to take a guess on what the chairman, McAvery, makes?
$1 million.
How much?
$1 million.
1 million. What have we got?
2.6.
How much?
2.6. 2.6.
2.6 million we've got. All right, let me tell you what the Con Ed guy makes.
13 million.
That's including stock options. $16 million a year. And in the previous year, he made 14 million. And previous to that, he made 11 million. It's a pretty good job, I think, for quasi-public agency. So, I'm sure he's embarrassed. He don't want to report it either. So, us reporting salaries is just, it shouldn't even be a question anymore. The second question, was it a matter of a planning and budget committee? I've been told that, why do we have a planning and budget committee? We don't need one. Nobody in the city of New York, the other boards don't have a planning and budget committee. Our bylaws indicate, and it's stipulated in the bylaws, that you must have the planning, the budget committee has oversight over the budget. It's stipulated in the bylaws. Now, one of the reasons why we are very careful about the budget, and we're very careful that everything is straight up board. What happened in Martin? Martin Prince brought in a note. Community Board 6, their district chairman, decided to sign himself a $20,000 raise and forged all the papers. Now, if they had had a planning and budget committee, that could have happened. Now, who else? We've got another one. The Municipal Credit Union. As a guy stole $6 million. And that's a crime because those are public employee funds. If they had had a planning and budget committee, they couldn't have gotten away with it. I understand he also slipped some money over to a couple of his board of directors to the tune of $600,000. Anyway, that's the argument on why you have a planning and budget committee with oversight. I mean, I'm not going to be here that long, so probably about 10 minutes till I die. And somebody's got to take over after me, so whatever we leave behind us, you know. Now,
I know CPR.
the committee, and we reviewed the presented budget. Now, there were some questions regarding the budget, regarding a couple of the items that were listed. Furniture, computers, you can see it under the codes. And Marjorie Velasquez, is she here tonight? Marjorie's not here.
She'll be here later, I believe.
My other half, she was supposed to give half this report. I was going to throw this over to Marjorie. Now you give it to me. In any event, Marjorie volunteered to go to the district office and to review all the concerns of the Planning and Budget Committee regarding expenditures for furniture, computers, because we had just bought computers a few years back. I don't know about you guys, but I still got a 10-year-old Mac that's just gorgeous. So in any event, Marjorie evidently went through it. She went through it with Matt, and evidently she was satisfied. And I'm sorry she's not here to give the report to tell you she's happy with whatever it was. Now, it was a contingent resolution, because if Marjorie didn't come in yesterday, that first resolution would not be on the table. So Bob said, why don't we make a contingent resolution, we'll put it on a table, and if there's any problems, we'll table it, and then carry it over for next month. Bob's always smart. He really knows.
Thank you, Julia.
So we put the resolution on, and if Marjorie was happy, and all she had to do was say, yeah, she's happy. And Irene, you happy too? You were the other guy who was a little concerned. What? You're happy too? Everybody's happy. Okay. That being the case, since everybody's happy, I make the following motion on behalf of Marjorie